We live, we on.
We are live. Hello, hello, everybody. Oh my goodness. Welcome to another episode of Showtime in Paris. And we are on episode 9 of Showtime in Paris. Episode 9. Oh my goodness, we had 9 episodes already. And that is just like so exciting. This show is brought to you by Don't Get Tricked Network. And we are excited about tonight's topic. It's going to be sex life, and this topic was chosen by yours truly. You know what I mean? So before we jump into this episode, we want to thank you guys for tuning in with us. Make sure you like and you share this conversation, and also make sure you go out to our YouTube page and make sure you become a subscriber, because not only are we popping, we want you to be popping with us. It is what it is. So show Bring us on in. Bring us on in.
Well, first of all, I want to say how y'all doing out there. Paris, I like your hat.
I mean,
Um, we were supposed to come on yesterday. Paris had a splitting headache, and we're here for her at all times. So, new day, but we feeling good. She's feeling better. We ready to go. And let me tell you how this conversation came about. I was watching this show. I don't even know how I stumbled upon it. I'll be on Netflix, and I was looking for new material where all my regular shows I watched was done for the day, whatever. So I'm just clicking on. I'm watching Sorry Show after Sorry Show, Prime Video, going back and forth. So I've seen some people comment on this show, Sex Life, and I gave it a shot, and it kind of drew me in quick. Anytime a show start with sex or drug dealing or something, I'm in. I'm in until it proves me, until it proves me innocent till proven guilty. So I wrote it out. I got caught in the storyline, and I thought it made for an interesting topic. So I text Paris right away because I knew it was right up her alley. I'm like, hey, did you see this show? I was like, you need to check it out so we could do the topic on it. And there was a few issues. I was like, we can do a whole show based around this. So I was like, we'll start with the first topic. Let's the first issue in the show for people who didn't see it. Let me just bring you in for a minute, the viewer who may not or may not have seen it.
come on in. Yep,
You
Willie.
know, the first issue when the show first started, right? The woman, her man was a hard working husband, whatever. Hard working husband, family oriented, never did nothing wrong, clean cut husband. And she just wanted a good pounding, for better or for worse. She just wanted to have sex, like not no. He wasn't even paying no attention, so he wasn't being as interested as maybe he should been, or he wasn't handling responsibility the way he should. And pretty much with all that was going on, he was like daydreaming during the sex and all that stuff where it should be intense and everything going on. And long story short, she started reminiscing about her ex sex life, her old sex life when she was wild and when she was running free. She wasn't getting any good sex. The man wasn't touching her and all that. And it culminated in her like fantasizing about her best sex partner who was like really toxic with her. They didn't really get along, but they had a passion she never had with nobody else. So first, I want to start with the first question. I want to start with from watching something like that. She was basically fighting her throughout the whole series. She's fighting with, do she want to, what's better, to keep her family? She had a family, nice house, nice things, everything's perfect. The sex just boring, which is making her feel dead inside. Or should she go recapture her old life where she had those sparks, you know, but this dude might not be the best husband, but she felt like more alive with this guy.
Right.
So I mean, throw it to Paris as the resident woman expert on this show.
Okay.
Of course, how close is it to have that passion with your significant other, rather than him just be a great father figure, a great husband who's there for you and take care of everything? Is it 60-40, 50-50? Like what's is one slightly more important than the other to you?
That's an interesting question, and I would say, based upon my opinion and also looking at the show, it's tough, right? So I like how you said 60-40. 60% of it should be keeping the relationship alive, whether it be sex life, whether it be going out to eat, doing fun stuff with your significant other, and 40% of that should be like the stability piece, because for some people it gets boring after a while. And just like you said in the show, she was struggling. She's like, I got this great husband, but goodness, I had so much fun over here. Now if her husband kind of approached the situation where he knew that he probably didn't know how promiscuous she was, but he knew what type of lifestyle that she lived prior to marrying her. He should have compromised a little bit. So I think it's important for people to compromise when it comes to relationships. So 60-40 is kind of spot on for me. And I would say that 60% comes with the intimacy, comes with the fun times, the memories, and just being spontaneous. That 40%, you're going to be a husband, you're going to be, stable. And it depends on age too, right? And maturity level. So I think 60-40 is good because to me, the intimacy piece is key. Spontaneousness is key. Having fun with my significant other is key. Yes, I like to be home. I like to be around our family, but it's fun just to be into each other and just to make sure we love on each other. So that's how I feel about it.
That was a very mature way of saying if you had to choose, you want more of the spontaneity, you want more of the bond and the camaraderie and the high passion than just pretty much, I guess in the woman's terms, the good guy. The guy who's gonna make sure he got your back and all that. Like you want both, of course, if you want a husband, but you'll get fed up quicker if the passion between y'all was more dead than if he was kind of slacking in certain areas. He might have missed a recital or something, or he was working, or he did. If he was slacking in the husband department a little more, if you had to choose one, just a straight perfect partner or a complete dead sex life, you'll end it quicker with the sex life being trash and the passion gone.
Well, I don't know if I would end it quicker because honestly, I think that women could kind of drive that piece, right? The spontaneity, the sexual piece, the sexual drive, right? Because just because my man don't want to give it to me all day don't mean I'm not going to take it. So it's more so like a balance, and a man doesn't have to come to the table being spontaneous or being with a high sex drive. I think as women, we need to pull that out of our man, right? And kind of balance it out. Because I want him to be going to recitals and stuff, but I want to dip off in the bathroom while going to a recital or something like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It just depends on how you approach the situation. I wouldn't necessarily leave him if he wasn't like that, but I would train him.
That's funny because the funny men, we got this preconceived thing of our woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we like to think that our woman should stay around. Like
Mm-hmm.
like sex, we want it to be important to you because we want you to want to have sex as bad as we do. We want you to be spontaneous. We want you to live up to everything. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, we want to feel like you would never leave over sex. Like it ain't important enough for you to leave us or for it to drive a wedge, especially if we a good man and we got a nice family together. But it's crazy because it's a complete double standard because if you wasn't having the sex we want and you was being corny and we couldn't do whatever it is we was doing,
Mm-hmm.
I would feel like the man would want to break his relationship up over that. Like you not being sensual when we touch you, you don't want to have sex. You keep having excuses. You want to, oh, I cooked already. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, my hair is not done. I need to take a shower. Like all kinds of procrastinating things that makes it not, like in the moment passion. We'll kind of break it up over that, or we'll become distant and start cheating. Like if you don't break your family up, you probably still go out and like, all right, I'll have my fun at the strip club. I have my fun hanging out with these women. Then I'll come back and do the family thing.
That's
But
because some men are like that, right? Some men like that. They like the passion in a woman. They like a woman that's kind of gonna be with the sugar honey iced tea, if you will. And they don't like women that's gonna be like coming home from work. Oh, I'm tired. Or I just want to play with the kids and go lay down and put on a granny gown. You know what I mean? When your man come home from work, open the door with just a bathrobe on. Be spontaneous. You know what I mean? Step out and show him like, listen, baby,
take them notes, ladies.
I am the
Take them
sugar.
notes. Keep talking. Keep talking that talk.
And I am the sugar honey I see, and you're gonna love me. And this is me. This is us. My body is us. Take what you want. And I think oftentimes men shut down when it comes to a woman kind of pushing him away, right? If your man wants to have it, let him have it, especially if he's doing everything in his power to be a good provider, good father, a good everything, nurturer, everything, right? Because men are nurturers too. But sometimes I think as women we kind of shy away. But then it's opposite because you have some women that are just very, very much so have high sex drives, want it all the time, and some men just can't keep up. So I think it goes both ways, right? Where a man got to try to learn his woman and a woman got to learn her man, but you both have to be into each other at all times. And reverting back to that show, Sex Life, I think that the husband, he started noticing she became distant, and she was doing little sneaky stuff like looking on her laptop and doing all of this stuff, and that he kind of got sucked in a moment, and he kind of got turned off. So I think sometimes we do things that make our spouses get turned off, and you got to kind of know your spouse's body language and stuff like that, and you got to know what your spouse likes. And she was a freak to the core, right? And even if he
And he
was,
had no idea. He was snuck attack with her freakness.
well, I wouldn't say he had no idea, because you actually know what your woman's sex drive is like. She gave that man kids, so he knew that she liked to be on top. He knew that she liked to kiss passionately and be, tooting her
No, he
butt.
didn't know. Like
He,
it was one scene. It was when he read the thing and he seen that she liked to be roughhoused and all that. So it was the one that like the final scene before his shit flipped in either direction, where he read the stuff and he knew about it. So he like was upset. So he called himself like treating her like a slut in his mind. But nasty people like myself or her, the girl in the show, that's just regular sex to her. So he threw her over the table like, I'm gonna treat you like a whore. And he starts fucking hard from the back. And she was into it. And he thought he was like trying to shame her. And he like took a pause and looked like, oh, this is what you wanted the whole time. And he kind of was like disgraced at her. And she like, no, don't stop. Keep fucking me. And he kept going. And you could see his heart breaking as he doing it like, damn. And then after that, he was acting funny and distant. Like, oh, so, I built this whole relationship. We got all these kids. And basically, I must not have been pleasing you the whole time being this lover boy. Like, you want somebody to rough you up, and made him feel like he looked at his girl like a thought instead of she just want high passion sex.
Wow, wow. And that kind of sucks, because then he gets kind of turned off from her, and they built everything together. It's like, how does a man kind of bounce back from something like that? But then how does a woman pretend for so long that she's something that she's not? If you a slut, be a slut. You know what I mean? If he don't like you, he's not for you. Most men want you to be a slut.
Hold on, first of all, a slut is with other people.
Well, you know what I'm saying, like a hoe.
You be a nasty motherfucker with me. You ain't gonna be no slut. Be my slut.
Okay, let me rewind my words. A nasty MFer, right? If
Yes.
you're a nasty MFer, if you like to be freaky for that man up front. And if he don't like it, something might be wrong with him. You get what I'm saying? Or whatever. He might need the blue pill or the honey pack.
Oh, well, why you keep talking about this honey pack? I'm selling those honey packs, by the way. Inbox me, y'all.
Here. Show, what's going on with the comments? What's going on? Do we got
I'm about to get. That's what I was about to tell you, because it's some interesting things coming up on here. Hold on. Get the crowd involved.
All right. Hey, Star.
Hey, Star.
I've had a relationship on both ends. Great sex, but toxic as hell. Damn, do you like toxic sex? I might like some toxic sex every once in a while. Okay, sex, but great guy. Right now at 36, I'm choosing the good guy. Hopefully I can bring the passion, fun sex out of him. Goodness gracious. So at 36, are you saying, you know what I mean? You kind of like, you ready for that stability? You still want to have the fun and sex, but you ready to settle down? Like, I'm curious about that. At what age does a woman like say, all right, I'm ready to just be with one man or whatever? Like, what does that depend on? And a man too. Like, what does that depend on? She has to meet all your qualifications. What does it depend on?
Well, firstly, the answer to that question, where it say great sex but toxic, I want the sexual act to be toxic.
Ooh, like, I like that.
Spitting, whatever the nasty shit we doing. I don't want the relationship to be toxic and then we have sex. Right. I'm not into toxic people. Like, I don't want to argue with you and then have crazy sex or nothing like that. We can just have sex like we argued. Like, we can skip the argument. If we argue, we can have sex, but I don't want to fake an argument just for sex. I don't want to argue.
Oh, you don't necessarily got to argue, because me and my man, we don't argue. But you know what I'm saying? We might talk to each other a little bit, rough or whatever, then break out to some passionate lovemaking, So I think you hit a spot on. I don't want the toxic.
I'm a rough talker in myself. Yeah, my life is rough talking, so we're going to have some rough exchanges. But I don't want you just coming in and grab my favorite trophy that I was MVP on and break it against the wall just so we can have toxic sex or something like that.
Yeah. But then Star says, okay sex. I wouldn't want no guy with no okay sex. Man, you got to have bomb sex. Just because I know I have bomb sex. I know my lovemaking is the bomb. So
first of all, you never slept with you. So you've heard that you had great sex. You don't know what your sex is like. You had to have slept with you to know.
Well, honestly, I think a person knows when they have good
Yeah,
sex.
they do.
Because afterwards, that person is either sleep, mesmerized, texting you like crazy, just ready to see you again, just on you like crazy. That's when you know you got some good loving. You know what I mean?
Or you just the best they got going at the moment.
Don't do that.
I just
You
want to rain on your parade. Let's
not.
go to the next comment by Star. You want to read this or me?
You can read it.
What if you can't train him? What if he don't get it or isn't listening? I'm very open to telling my partner what I need/want more of, but some people aren't receptive or don't feel empowered to fill your partner in on what's missing.
That's a great question. So to me, Star, he's already stuck in his ways, right? If you can't train him, he's stuck in his ways. And when people are stuck in their ways, they really show you who you are. So then at that point, it's up to you, right? It's up to you to decide whether you want to move on or what you want to do with the relationship. But honestly, if you are the type of woman like myself that has a very, very high sex drive, and I can't come in and say I want sex and I want it now, my partner's not willing to be readily available, he might not be for me. You got to have those uncomfortable tough conversations. Sometimes you got to shatter a man's ego. Listen, bruh, you're not for me. The sex life is trash. I mean, I can't do
You're not
it.
trying to get beat up, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, because I just want to let you know that there is a
People need
demographic.
that. People need that. They need that tough love.
There's a demographic of guys. People are sensitive about their sex. If you're like, this ain't for me, the sex is trash, you might want to watch how you word that to certain men. You ever watch that TV show?
Say the sex is trash, but you might say this: your sex is not for me, or my sex drive is too high for you. I'm a little bit out of your league. Go shop.
Okay, that last comment, that's you stretching it. You stretching it. Not out of your league. Women, don't listen to her. She gonna get y'all on first 48.
Listen to me, ladies, because if his sex is mediocre and you know his sex is mediocre and you want more, don't shatter that man's dreams and kind of lead him on. Let him know your sex is mediocre, buddy.
No, there's a nice way to say that. Don't listen to her. It's a nice way to say that. You can say, we need to spice it up, make it a little more up tempo. You need to. Let's try this. Let's try that.
Because really if he's gonna go to his boys and be like, her sex is trash, she real dry, or she whack, she won't.
He ain't gonna tell you that.
No, but he gonna be talking about you behind your back. So why not keep it real in front of his face? You're mediocre, bruh.
So what if he said, your arch is kind of weak, or yes, things it smell a little fishy in here. Like, what if somebody told you the truth?
If he told the truth, it's the truth. If her thing is fishy, then she knows she gotta wash her twinkie twink. But if her arch is wrong, she knows she gotta take a class and learn how to put some arch in her back.
She need a whole class?
Hmm?
Why she get a whole class though? She got just adjust it.
Because some women are stiff and they don't know how to throw that thing back or throw that
That's
thing.
right. They just don't got the silhouette to arch it. So they wasn't built. They weren't made for the arch.
You can learn how to arch, you know what I mean? So
everybody wasn't blessed. Everybody wasn't blessed with your level of sexuality. Next, let's get out of here because I'm about to curse her out today. This must be a good show because I'm feeling triggered. No, I'm not. That makes it seem like I'm hurting. I'm not triggered.
Right. Don't put your emotions.
I'm sorry. Somebody said I had bad sex this morning.
You know what?
I'm just playing.
He was telling the truth.
You wouldn't be here. First 48.
Ooh.
You read this one because I'm triggered.
Joe, as a man, if your woman has suggestions for you to improve sex, are you open? If you wanted something different from your girl, do you feel comfortable telling her? That's a good question for you, Joe.
It is. Let's see. Am I open? Yes, I am. Like, if it's something you're into and I didn't actually do it, I can't really think of what it'd be because I'm kind of nasty. But there is some things. I'm just telling the truth. But there is some things like, I don't know, maybe you want your toe sucked and I didn't do it at the time or something. You was like, I like it when you stroking and you put my toes in your mouth. I'll do it. Like, if it ain't, a man, he should adjust unless he want to keep giving you bad sex. So you're being ignorant and stubborn if you won't. They ask you for a reason. Like, they like what they like. So, you gotta, you might hit your pride because some people take it the wrong way. They be like, oh, you ain't like it when I did this. Or like, let me ride a little bit. Oh, you want control because you didn't like my stroke? It could be an ego thing. But if you get past that, you just want to have good sex for both people, then it's nothing wrong with adjusting it. And as far as if I wanted something different from my girl, do I feel comfortable telling her? I think sex is better when there's less discussion. Yeah. I'll just lead her in that direction during sex.
Like flip her over. Turn over, girl.
Yeah, like you speak it or you just do it, and then we'll discuss it afterwards. If she didn't like it, like, why you do that? But during the time, I don't want to make it a class. I'll just guide you. I'll make sure you do what I like during sex. You're gonna take care of me because
Turn off to me though. Like I shouldn't have to tell you, what I like. Just try it, right? Or it's a turn off to me when, oh, can we have sex? Like if I'm in a relationship with you and we've already been intimate and active, don't ask me for sex. Just take this sex. You get what I'm saying? Don't take it to the point where I'm like forcing you away. But if we're in a relationship, I should, to me, it's a turn off to say, oh, turn over. Will you turn over? Or this is how I like it. No, we're not kids. Turn over. You gonna give me some, you know what I mean? I'm a little bit like,
because you probably talking ish anyway.
what?
And if it's your girl and you wanted to turn over, just turn over. Like, what's the conversation?
Plum trash. Turn over. Do this. Lay down.
Hold on, Paris having flashbacks, y'all. Get her off the. Get out of here. Just check her seat. Hold on. We'll go to the next comment before Paris get us fired.
Ooh.
Is your ego hurt if she don't like what you're giving, show? Let me put myself in that position. Okay.
Ego ain't never been hurt either. Be transparent. Be you.
Excuse me?
I don't act like your ego ain't never been hurt. So answer this transparently.
My ego may have been hurt. I'm not quite sure if it ever been hurt with that. But is your ego hurt if she don't like what you're giving? All right, let me see what will probably hurt me. My ego will be hurt if I know that there's nothing I can do to fix that. Like I just don't got the equipment. Like I know. Like she's like, I don't like it. You're D too little. Well, my D too little for her though. If it was 10 inches and she wants 15, it's still too little for her. Don't matter if it's big.
Surgery?
Huh?
Would you go get surgery to enlarge it?
Fuck no. I'll go get a new girl who appreciate it. No, but I'm not getting no sir. I'm not risking life and limb for some good sex. But but you don't know when you meet somebody, right? Let's say I could have had a video vixen with a huge, crazy ass, whatever. And then I get a girl with a nice butt. There's nothing you can do about it because I got a new fetish for big old butts now. It's like you have good sex, but it's not for me because I missed that visual of the girl with the big butt bouncing back. That's out of your league. So I don't think it should hurt you, but maybe it would hurt your ego a little bit because I think it would because you're like, damn, I can't do nothing about that. I'm just not for her if you really like the person. Just like, you'd be like, damn, is something wrong with, if you didn't have enough sex, at this age, it wouldn't hurt me because I feel like I slept with enough women where I know I'm good. Like, I'm good to more people than I'm not good to. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you criticize me, it's a you problem. I wouldn't take it personal. I'd be like, oh, she is into something else. It ain't a me thing. It's just, I'm not for her. But I wouldn't take it personal if you just was like, if it was something I could correct, then I wouldn't feel, because like, maybe I like a certain position and you like another position. They like, hey, you didn't do this. Like, I like more missionary. All right, then I can just adjust that. I'll do that for you. It's not like she's saying you got bad sex. She's saying you missed something that I like. So that's just communication. So I guess it all depends on if I can give it to her or if I can't, which will make me feel a little funny or not. How about you?
Good comment. Is your ego hurt? Well, honestly, I don't think my ego will be hurt. Like you said, that person might not be for me, and there's nothing that I'm going to change because I like what I like and that person likes what they like. So, I mean, I would just be like, okay with it. And I wouldn't question myself because I'm comfortable and confident. And I think, like you said, if it's something that I can change, or he's like, you know what? I like it when you turn around and do it versus get on top and do it. That's something I could easily change, but I can change the size of my booty, but I wouldn't.
Definitely can. I think everybody has changed. I don't think you keep the size of your butt the same no more.
Well, some women are natural, and I think that, like you said, I wouldn't put my life on the line because that man may not be with you 6 months down the line. So why would you risk yourself for somebody who's not going to probably be with you or has the opportunity of walking away? If I can't satisfy someone, I wouldn't be hurt about it because there's more fish in the ocean. I would just be me. That's all I could be at this point. So no, I wouldn't be hurt. It's what it is. Somebody else will like what I do.
Here's a comment from my guy. What up, Lee? Lee Geef, Big Lee. He want to know, have y'all ever been having sex with someone and thinking about another man or woman? I never thought about another man. But you know what though? I'm sure if you polled men, right, half men did think about another man, not in that way, not in a funny way. I think like if you know, there is guys who want to sleep with women because they know the guy that was sleeping with her before, and they got like a little thing about him, or they want to outperform him. Dudes are weird, man. Dudes are weird. A lot of times people want to sleep with your girl just because it's you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I got something he got. Like, oh, I'm on his level now because the same girl that like him like me. And I think some dudes do be actually sleeping with girls thinking about him, and that's when I don't know if y'all ever slept with a guy and they know you got a boyfriend or something, and you cheating, and they like, oh, am I fucking you better than him? Who pussy is this? Like, they want you to. The sex ain't good unless you shame that man. It's like their whole sex talk is about shaming that man.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I think women do the same thing, right? They don't want to sex a man that's in a relationship because they like, oh, I'm gonna give it to him better than she give it to him. And they like, oh, she ain't giving it to you like this. So I think it goes both ways, right? But honestly, I've never been in a situation where I was thinking about somebody else while I'm sexing my man. Nah, I ain't been in that situation. But I think people do it, right? And I think there's a lot of I hate to say this, a lot of men that are in relationships or married and they're sexing their wives and they're thinking about somebody that they work with or somebody that they see on an everyday basis. And sometimes it's like, man, I'm gonna give it to my spouse good because I know I would want to be giving it to this girl good, or I'm thinking about this person. So, and then your spouse is like, yo, what got into you today? You're like, nah, or nothing. You know, I just had a good day at work. But he could be thinking about shorty at somewhere or this, that, and the next. So I think you got to pay attention to how people's vibes are and kind of look at how they kind of move around, because that could be the case with men and women. And it kind of sucks, but can you shame blame for it? Nah, it is what it is.
Shame blame.
Shame blame.
Very millennial of you. What I'm about to say, as far as that, I think that's something I hear women say that I think is never going on with men. What I do think, you're right, but it's not to the extent, not the same way you said it. Like,
come on now.
Here's my point. In the actual act, I'm just having sex with you. I don't think men have sex with a woman and think about another woman. I do think that they can get turned on to go have sex with you, but once they having sex with you, it's about they know they like if I want to fantasize about another woman, I'm going to jerk off, because if I'm having sex with you, I'm having sex with you. If I'm thinking about another woman, I'm just rather jerk off and think about the thought of having sex with her. But if you're having sex with an actual female in front of you, we're more focused on having sex with the female in front of you. We might be upset about it, but I think what you're saying, like they come in excited, like maybe they seen a girl and they like, man, the girl just got them horny. So they because of that girl, they came home and gave you some good sex. But during the act, we're not thinking about the girl. It's just that she lit that fire. It's like we watching a porn together, and the porn got me excited to have good sex with you. So it's like I'm not thinking about the other person. I'm just excited to have sex with them.
So I'm not trying to shame or bash men by any means necessary, but is it just that you guys don't have the brain bandwidth to do something like that?
Like what?
To kind of like think about somebody else while you're being intimate?
We're not that creative. We're task oriented creatures. We're tunnel vision, and that's part of the reason why we kind of come easier than y'all. Because like we can't even focus. Like we so into what we're doing. Like if your butt bounced back a certain way, we're done. Like you gotta almost, for real, we gotta almost delusion. The way we last that we're trained ourselves throughout men talking to each other and men giving each other's tips when we was young. You got like, yo, think of this. Don't do that. Don't get too into it. Think about be upset. Like sometimes you could be having sex and you can make yourself like think about something that you don't like about the person or an argument y'all had. And it's like, all right, like you gotta mentally not be there, because the moment you realize you're there, it's gonna be over. Dang. Especially if you're having rough sex. It's so passionate, you got to disengage mentally to even last that long. And that's the more you, because if you like it, it's over. A man can be done in 10 seconds. Like, truthfully, you fighting it from the time you start. And you just happy, like, when you get past the first 5 minutes, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm here for a while. But you scared every time, like, I hope I hope I get that. But you kind of count, and you're like, oh, I've passed 5 minutes, I'm good. Everybody know, like, after that, you're an autopilot. Like, oh, I'm going to be here for a while.
That's tough. That's really, really, really tough, man. I wouldn't want to be no guy just because of that reason, like, and then
you want to cut it off. It's stress. You like, I just want to have crazy, wild sex, but you got to be scared because you start doing too much. You can make a fool of yourself. You can end it.
Exactly. I wouldn't want to be. I'm thankful I'm a woman at the end of the day. But great question, Lee. Shout out to Don't Get Tricked podcast, man.
They've been doing a good job. They've been putting up with Paris. I know I make it easy for them, but the diva on the set gotta
Diva
have.
Diva on the set.
Let me think. Oh, so it's another. There's a few things I was thinking of, right? With that show, right? So obsessive wise, like there was a scene in episode 3, right? That was the big scene everybody was talking about. The guy gets upset, whatever. He reads the girl. He starts trying to live up to the stories that he's read about the guy, whatever. So he's doing a bunch of spontaneous stuff. He's breaking into people's establishments and having sex in their pool. He's doing stuff in the car. He's racking his brain to try to be this guy that he's not sexually to keep his woman happy with him, right? And he's getting obsessed with the guy because now he's like, damn, like, what is it about this dude that makes her feel like this? Like, if you having sex, you think you having sex. So he's like, what's he doing differently? So he's trying to figure this guy out. So he gets so obsessed, he goes and follows the man to his job, whatever. He follows the man to his job. And this is where it got a little zesty for me.
Oh, yeah.
He followed the man to that shower. What you say?
Room, and he looked at his penis like, yo, is he packing more than me or what, though?
Yeah. And that is something I wanted to tell guys and women a lesson more so with that than anything. You don't want to get that obsessed because let's say you bump into that situation, right? You can't mentally come back from that. Because I think if she's just into that and you don't have what he had, you can't please your woman. And y'all not broke up now. Now you feel like, is she faking? Why was she enjoying this? She acting like she enjoying this and she used to have that. Or I can never have this, blah, blah, blah. So you feel like there's nothing you can do to have that kind of sex. You know what I'm saying? So with women too, like you go trying to find out what somebody's ex looked like or something of that magnitude, and then you go find out that this girl was a fox, and you're pretty. Yeah, like she's one of them. Like I ain't gonna front. When a girl you might be a better woman. Like maybe he left her because she was so bad, but she was disloyal. He couldn't trust her, or she wasn't a good homemaker, but she was the finest thing. And he's like, now he met you, and he's like, okay, you're cute, but you got better house quality, so you're overall better woman. But you'll get stuck on, damn, he left that girl and he messing with me. I know he and it's like, if your ego's not ready to take what you might find, I don't think don't go looking, searching that, because how would you feel? How would you feel like if you read your man's, the man was writing a diary or something, or you broke in your man's phone, you don't do that, but let's say you did for the situation. You go through your man's phone and he texting his friend, right? And he's like, man, remember that chick you had at such and such? And your last girlfriend, she was bad. I know you miss her. Nah, I love my baby, but I ain't gonna front. The sex with her was just like mate, man. That big old ass, she was so fine. Like, I mean, my girl's straight. But this girl was just too bad. And then you read that and you get obsessed and you find her and she is. How would you handle that? Do you think you can go through that? Would you be upset? What would you do?
I honestly, my mind would be like, I would be shattered inside, right? I would be so crushed. I would definitely have to leave the situation alone because my mental wouldn't be right.
Oh, that's honest. I wasn't expecting that from you.
Yeah, my mental wouldn't be right. So, but honestly, I feel like to me, I'm the prize. So I'm always gonna say his loss, but I definitely will be a little bit hurt, and first of all, I would be hurt because I don't think it's respectful to be having those type of conversations behind your woman's back like that. But second of all, not everybody is the best looking person, right? But they have other characteristics and qualities that make them a good person. And if in an event that somebody else like his friend or his homeboy is bringing that to his attention, that's disrespecting me as well. So his homeboy is cut off too. So, and that would cause a whole different kind of conversation. So honestly, I would have to hit the eject button at that point and dismiss myself. And I think it would be something because it would be like that song, My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me. Dun, 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 dun. And I wouldn't be able to have that. I would want somebody to cherish me and value me. And even if the ex did look a little bit better than me or something, they're with me for a reason. I wouldn't want them to kind of touch back on that situation. That's a past for a reason. But honestly, I would be a little bit heartbroken. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't show it. I wouldn't do nothing like pop his tires or mess with homeboy or nothing like that. But I would definitely walk away and hit the eject button and then what I do is before I hit the eject button, let him know what he about to miss. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta leave on a good note and let him know, you know
Gotta
what?
get your back, gotta get your hit back.
You know what I'm saying? You messed up a good thing, you know? So that's how I would handle the situation.
I was wondering that because okay, when you said you leaving, is it more so because okay, like you said, you got the mind state because everybody coming to a relationship standing on their square that gives them their backbone, that gives them their pride, that gives them their power in the relationship. You know, you need both of them to bounce back and forth off each other. So in your mind, you like, okay, I'm his queen, I'm his woman, I'm the sexual, I'm his sexual appetite. I know everything. I know how to please him. I know he looks at me a certain way. And then would it knock something off, like how you felt with him, like you're sexy, if you like read him and you feel like he's downplaying your sexy, like, so when you read that and he's acknowledging like, yeah, man, that girl was too bad. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I like having sex with my girl. But even though he said a bunch of times, she's a way better woman. Like you heard him say, like, I love my baby. She's a better woman. That girl was a piece of shit. But sex wise, yeah, it's definitely different. I do think about that sometimes. Blah blah blah. Was that enough to make you leave because you feel like do you have to have every box better than somebody? Like if he's treating you respect and you know he'd rather be with you, but the sex was just honestly better with that girl. He wasn't reaching back. A dude asked him a question like, I know you be thinking about such and such, and he just answered it. Never thought you would see it. Is that worth really leaving the relationship, or you think you have to leave because it'll do something to your ego enough? Is it your ego?
I would have to leave because not only will it do something to my ego, I think it would be kind of a trust thing. Because when you're in a relationship with a person, I think you should be transparent enough to say, yo, listen, I really like your sex, but I've had better sex before, or something like that. And I think that's something that we should have talked about, right? So for me, it would be like, man, I don't trust you. My ego is kind of a little bit shattered. And even if he like, man, she do got a fat ass and all of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I know my ass is kind of mediocre. I wouldn't, it wouldn't break my confidence down, but I'd be like, man, I'm just not the one for him, and this is what he likes and this is what he put up with, but this is what he likes. And I wouldn't want him to be unhappy because settling, men do that a lot, right? They settle for the female that they can get instead of being or waiting for the woman that they want. And for me, I would think that that person is settling, and I wouldn't want to mess up that person's life. And you can't get the time back that that person put into you. So I would rather dismiss myself and let that person either A, backtrack or find somebody that's more of his caliber than for me to stay in that relationship, because I know at that point that A, I can't trust him, B, what I bring to the table he does not like, and I'm not going to be able to satisfy him at that time. And I don't want to be anybody's second best or anybody's settle for. I want you to be extremely happy with me. And if somebody brings to the table your ex that got a fat ass, fuck that ex. I got my girl. And if you can't approach it like that, you ain't for me, bro.
You're such a woman. Y'all women are terrible. Because let me tell you how extreme you are first on so many levels of this. First of all, you're gonna say the first thing you said was we should have discussed it. Why in the hell would I tell my woman unprompted? You know what? You like the third best sex I had out of my whole life. Why would I volunteer a number? Like, and just because I'm with you today, why would you think that you had to be the best sex I ever had? You don't know how many people somebody slept with, where they done. They could have slept with a stripper, a sex worker, a porn star person. You don't have to have the best sex. He didn't say he didn't like it. He didn't. You said you done made him not like it. You like, I don't want you settling. He not settling. He likes your sex. It ain't that woman's sex.
But here is the caveat, right? So women, every woman, I think when they have sex with a man, they like, dang, my sex is a bomb. My sex is a bomb. You know what I'm saying? Just like men have egos, women have egos too. And women are emotional beings. We think of emotion oftentimes. So with us being that type of individual, we're not the worst. It's just how we're built. You get what I'm saying? So y'all can't bash us or shatter us or kind of come at us for having feelings.
No, but we saying her sex is good. Obviously, I live with her. We got kids. I like you, but I just said that that's not as fat as hers. Like there's fat butts. There's Trina when she was the baddest bitch, and then there's somebody with a little Kim might have had a little butt. We're not saying both are not good butts, and we both don't like. We just her butt's bigger. You can't be the best in every category ever had. We can lie to you.
Honestly, I want to be the best in every category when it comes to my
You're the best overall woman.
But here's the caveat behind it. If I can't be the best you need to say to me, listen here, baby, your sex is a little bit mediocre. I need
It's
you.
not mediocre. Hers is amazing.
I need you to do this a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Do this, learn this, watch this video so you can up your skills a little bit. Because like I said, you have to train people and you have to let people know where they kind of lack. Because at that point, something is bound to come between your union at that point.
What if
And
you don't lack though? What if that girl is just especially like we all NBA? It's all NBA players. You got Kobe, you got Lamar Odom. They both really good players. Like you're not lacking, you're just not Kobe Bryant. Like everybody can't be Kobe Bryant.
not everybody can be Kobe Bryant, but if you want a Kobe Bryant and you settle for a Muggsy Bogues, I don't know sports.
Why
But
you got to be Muggsy Bogues though? Like okay, like
you settle for a Muggsy
you can
Bogues.
be another good player in the league. You ain't got to be Muggsy Bogues.
But if you
I ain't marrying a Muggsy Bogues a woman.
I'm just saying, if you settle for somebody like that, you're always going to be searching for your Kobe, and you're not going to be satisfied with your Muggsy because it's more so, man, I want somebody a little bit younger. I want somebody a little bit more vibrant. And that person is just going to be a settle for person. And then when you're 30, then you're 40, and you're 50, you're going to be like, damn, I waste my golden years on this woman I'm not even attracted to. And then you're going to start seeking elsewhere. Why not kind of shatter that or stop that before it even gets to that point and be with somebody you're meant to?
Let me ask you a question. With this in the spirit, you never know who's significant others of mine, stars, Lee, whoever be watching. But as honest as you can, before I tell you a little story, because I did where you're coming from on a man's side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I'll leave with the story. I can't say the person, but somebody I'm very close to, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a situation. This was a real life thing. This is probably like some years ago.
Mm-hmm.
One of my real close people, one of the closest people to me in the world, they went through somebody's phone, went through their girl's phone. Everything was going good in the relationship. This is a true story. And the girl was like, man, you love this dude, blah, 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 blah. Do you ever think about such and such? And the girl was like, I ain't gonna lie. That dick was just too big. Like, she's like, sometimes I don't like him as much as this guy, and we don't have good times. And our sex is great, don't get me wrong. But I do think about that big ass dick sometimes. And the person I know read that and ended the whole relationship right there.
Yeah.
They didn't even ask. All they did, they gave the person the phone, and they were just like, "Nah, I can't do it." It was like, "What you thinking about?" You wasn't supposed to see that. That was just girl talk. It's nothing personal. I would never talk to that person. He can't hold a candle to you. I'm just saying, like, you talking about other dudes' dick, and you think. Yeah. And he was like, he couldn't come back from it. He said, I just can't do it. I can't talk to her no more. But I can see a guy ego like that. But women.
Yeah, but it's how you deliver the message, man.
It wasn't even meant to be said to you. If she would have said, if you went to your man's phone and he said, man, I ain't gonna lie, Paris' head is so trash, but blah, 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 blah. But he didn't say that. He just said, don't get me wrong, Paris shit is fire, but this girl had the deep throat 9,872 suckers. It's like, no offense to her, but she was the king at that, blah, blah, blah. But if she would have said, man, I do think about that. I got to go home to this trash ass Paris head. Now that's different.
That's different. It's how you deliver the message.
You leave as soon as you ain't number one. You don't care how the message.
I mean, I am, but it's how you deliver the message and how you articulate it. Because people could read something and be in their feelings and just articulate it a certain way. So I think that we got to take our emotions out of stuff. Everything ain't meant to hurt your feelings, And I think people being who they are and what they like, just be who you are, what you like. Goodness gracious, I would just want to be all emotional like that. So Star says, I don't think it's realistic or productive to discuss someone in your past who had better sex with your partner. I feel like that would be damaging to a relationship. I don't think it would be damaging to a relationship. I think it would kind of shed light, especially if that person is not comfortable talking about their sexuality and what they like and stuff like that. You can kind of put pieces of the puzzle together. So I think it's just all how you take it. And I think you have to have the maturity level to know, hey, I could talk to this person about my past relationships and they not take it to heart like that. So I guess it depends, situational based. How can it damage though?
Here's why. Guys can get, sometimes I'll dabble in waters that I shouldn't. And it's because I push the envelope and I like to make people comfortably uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because I like to keep the spark going in it. So like you'll be sitting with your woman and you might play with them. You'll be like, You be thinking of some other niggas, don't you? Like you just throw some dumb shit out and you just be talking, whatever. You're like where I'm at in your top 5 sex all the time. You just say some silly shit. And they be like, "Oh, you number one." I be like, "No, don't lie. Tell the truth. Like, if you talking to your girls, I ain't mad. I'm asking you. Like, who you? No man really wants to know that. It's damn corny. But you can start going too far. Like, sometimes you play, and then you see your woman thinking about it. You like, I probably ain't number one on this list. So then you're proud a little bit. Like, no. And then maybe I think the more productive thing to say is, hey, taking me out of it. Like, if you was just playing around and y'all was just sharing information, and you knew they exes. And you was like, who you like to have sex with the most? Like, if you was just being that risky, if y'all that comfortable, y'all could talk and play, and you be like, out of those 3 you used to date, who you had sex? Who would it hurt you to leave the most? Like, who would you like having sex with most out of them? But once you put yourself in it and be like, yo, tell me your top 5, and it was honest. Well, sex wise, you in my top 5. You like, I got you like 3, and then you like, who the hell's the other 2? Now, and if they tell you that, a man's not going to recover because you're going to feel like. If you see them talking to that person ever again, or if they bring that person up, you're like, this sex she got to be underselling it to even tell me that these 2 was better than me. It must be way better. Because if it was close, she'd probably just lie or say, y'all's about a tie. But if she had to tell you the truth, like, yeah, you behind him and him, it's like, they must have really nailed you. Like, you don't tell me the truth. Like, you got too real. Like, you reminiscing. So it'll damage the relationship for the man for sure. Like if you tell your man one day like you got good sex, but I ain't gonna lie, dude, he used to tear my ass up. I bet it won't be the same.
I mean, that's too transparent. That's too.
No, you said be transparent and let them know. That's on the damage.
Be transparent and let them know, but like I said, you have to watch your delivery and how you deliver the message. You can't be like saying stuff that's gonna like straight up now tell me just like break that person.
All right, tell me how you would tell your man that he was number 3 on your top 10 list. Or let's say he was worse than that. Let's say he was 6. And you like, I had some good sex. You're like, your sex is good. Like, where you got me out of 10? Yeah, 6. You don't see how that would damage?
First of all, if he's number 6 on my list, then he's not going to be my man, right? He's just going to be somebody that was that somebody at that time. He has to be number 1 in order for him to be my man, because I'm not going to settle for number 6, right? He's got
you're not with those guys no more, so it's not like you got all 10 to choose from. You're not going backwards. So it's like you met this guy, y'all hit it off, y'all had good enough sex to get him over the board. And let's say those 5 was super amazing and this dude is really good. It's like, it ain't bad. You like it, but it's like,
for me, it's got to top what I've had. I have to do better, because if I'm doing worse or staying the same, then it's not going to work. So
no, you got to do better overall. It ain't just one category.
But that comes in the sex category as well. Like for me, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a unique individual, but for me, it has to be better than. So if I'm in a relationship with this man, he's the best thing I ever had. There's no like, oh, you number 2, bro. You number 1. Nah, he's the best of the best. Because you survived. I'm with you, and I'm with you for a reason. Because if I wanted to, I could be with somebody else and try them out.
But that's where y'all women are crazy minded. Because listen,
crazy minded.
Y'all crazy. Look, you're not the dude you got with the most money, the dude you got with the most time, the dude you got with the best personality. It's probably not gonna be the dude who sexed you the best. It's not all the same guy.
Dude,
not realistic.
Lies and lace fronts, because
it's not everything. So one guy is the best. Every damn thing you ever had. It's the best dinner date you ever had. It's the best back shot. He get the best head. He rub your foot the best.
Yes.
He got the most money.
Yes.
He fight the best. If a dude break in, he got the best aim with his gun.
Yes. And this is no cap.
You know how to say the right things to make your man feel good.
Even though I got on a baseball cap, this is no cap for me. I got the best that I've ever had, and I'm thankful. So it's no cap for me. So it is what it is.
No, even if that's true. So every dude. So you had a boyfriend when you were 22. Mm-hmm. Your 23-year-old boyfriend was the best. He was better looking than the other dude. He had better sex. He had better foot sneakers. Everything he do was just the best. There's no like he better at this, that. He's a little better at that. He's better at this, that. Ain't no damn way that every girl I met was better than every girl, everything y'all ever done.
Because honestly, I think that you need to up your standards. If you leave somebody, that means you have to up your standards. So you should only go after something that's greater than what you had in the past. So
a better person, but that don't mean you smarter. Like I could meet a girl who a better cook, better looking, but she's not as good at making a hamburger as this girl is. She can make lasagna better. It's gonna be stuff that somebody can do better than.
Not everything is going to be perfect, but what you like in your standards, your top standards, that to me has to be the best, right? There's things that you're going to settle for.
Yeah, I agree.
There's certain things that has to be better, because if it's not, I'm not better than you. You're not going to pull me into an uncomfortable space. I have to be challenged. So for me, if I can't have better than what I had, I'm not going to be challenged, which is going to be boring, which is going to lead me to something other than what I want to do.
I
So
can see that. I can see in the important categories, especially for me, like what you said, like maybe the top this or that. Maybe not the best I ever had because I wouldn't even be able to remember. And if you did, if you was really good and I like you better than that girl, it's going to be better
right,
than I ever had because it's a better situation.
right. It's what you make it. But I do have a question for you, Show, and the gentlemen that are watching the podcast. But don't forget, if you like this conversation, please make sure you like and share. This is episode 9 of Showtime in Paris, brought to you by Don't Get Tricked Network. So, Show, my question for you is, say, for example, a woman is just tired of men, and that woman is like, dang, my sex life, you know what I'm saying? It's trash anyway with these dudes. I'm about to move forward, and I'm moving forward with a woman because this woman is going to not only fulfill my needs, she's relatable, she's going to be respecting me, she's not going to dog me out like these men dog me out. How do men feel when their significant other leaves them for the opposite sex?
Me personally, I've discussed this because men sit around and talk about a bunch of dumb shit all the time, and it's one of the things that came up a few times.
Mhm.
If my woman leaves me for the opposite sex, I feel no way because I can't get emotional about something that's out of my control. That's like I can't be better than a woman. Like you like women, like me. That'd be like me. You know, that's like somebody like how you feel. How you feel if you hit on a woman and she tell you I don't like women. She don't like women. Like so, I don't find that as a me thing. Like I ain't got no coochie. I ain't got no titties. I can't. Now I guess a dyke might put on a strap and outstroke you for your woman or something. I don't know, but I can't compete with that. I ain't got no strap. So it's like she get to pick what she likes. She can get a 13-inch strap and she can hump forever and never come. She can stay a certain size. I can't compete with no woman's sex or nothing. Or if you want that feel of a woman instead of a man, I can't do nothing about it. So I guess that's a running joke though. Somebody be like, damn, you lost your woman to another woman. Guys do look at the dude weak, but in real life, that's not a fair thing. I'll feel worse if my woman left me for another man because that's a tangible thing. And I'm like, that's something that I wasn't fulfilling. Like either he was a funnier dude, cooler dude, had more money, better sex, better looking. Then that might make you say like, damn, she really just said, fuck me. She must really like that dude. Or maybe I'm a lame, but a girl, I'd be like, I laugh like with my friends like, damn, she left me for that girl. I didn't know she was like that. I just take it like it's a you thing. Like, oh, she gay.
Oh, that's interesting. And your opinion is understood, but I always wanted to know what a man's perspective was on that, and how you guys kind of view that type of situation. So interesting. In the show Sex Life, like what if that was a female that, she was pursuing? Do you think he would have become that obsessed with the female?
No, I
What if
think if anything, he would have just like probably felt ashamed that his girl was going both ways, or he would probably try to get a threesome. Like he would have probably tried to integrate himself. Like, do you want to start having sex with other women? Like maybe that conversation would have went different. With another man, it's like you just prefer him over me. We got the same stuff. That's why he had to go see his penis because he like, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? That hurts you to the core. But a woman, it's like that's a whole different species. That's like why you like your cat better than my dog. You just did.
That's interesting.
How would you feel if your man was doing this new age thanks if he was Lil Nas X, if he left you for Lil Nas X, how you think you would take that? 'Cause I think women take that a little harder than men would.
To me, I would take it a little bit hard because the simple fact is you didn't just start feeling this way. You probably
He held that from you.
Yeah, you probably been having these feelings prior to kind of embarking on this type of venture, right? So that's where it will come to kind of my feelings being hurt. I would respect it, right? Because you like what you like, but I think that I will kind of be hurt because I would think we would be close enough that you say, hey, listen, this is what I prefer, but this is what I'm going to tolerate, and give me that choice to say, A, I'm not interested, or B, I'm interested, but I know that's what you like. And I feel like at that point, you put my life in danger. Not saying that being woman to woman is not putting a person's life in danger, excuse me, because when you sleep with somebody else, you're risking that person overall, right? But when a man and a man is together, you don't know if that man is sleeping with women and men. You don't know what's going on, just like a woman. But to me, it would be you're putting my life in jeopardy. So it would be more so of a hurt thing in that perspective, right? Because I don't know what you're doing. You're opening me up to unknown instances that I wouldn't be able to tolerate. So I would be hurt by that, and I'll be hurt by the point that you've already liked this type of thing. You're not X age, and you just now starting to do this,
Right.
what you've been thinking about for a long period of time. And why with me you start to venture off and try to do this thing, right? So I wouldn't question myself in the manner where I'm like, man, maybe I'm not good. I wouldn't question my own sanity, but I would question myself, what about me did not notice the signs that this man like the opposite sex? What was kind of my blinders to this? So I would be kind of hurt with the person and kind of hurt with myself.
Let's answer these few questions before we get out of here, before we wrap up, getting close to that time.
Okay,
Let's
okay.
see. My man better not. I don't want to read it because it started with my man. Read that, Paris.
My man better not. My man better not ever tell me someone from his past is better than me in anything. You better say it, Star. That's my girl. Give me some dap, girl. You know what? Raise your glass.
That's right. And stay out our phones before you come across the wrong information. I got this one. Let's go to the next one. My man James Starks. Shout out to him, Super Bowl champion, former Super Bowl champion. What are the top 5 must questions?
For you, Show, I'm gonna let you hit this one first.
What are the top 5 must? I'm assuming he means top 5 must in a relationship
Yeah.
for a woman.
But this is based on perspective and opinion, right? So we
My top 5, yeah, I gotta be mine.
yeah.
My top 5 must. One, it's not the most important because I'll still not date. You could be the finest woman in the world, but I won't put myself in a bad situation. But I'm also not going to walk up to you in the whole beginning unless you look a certain way. So you can't avoid looks. Then after that, it's personality, because I'm going in the order in which you even escalate stuff. You got to be attracted. Then once you talk to the person, they got a vibe good enough for you to keep talking. And then once you get that cool with them, now you need their loyalty. Now you gotta see if like this somebody you could trust, if there's somebody you could love, if somebody that won't betray you. And if you got all 3 of them, looks, personality, and trust, loyalty, then from there, then we go to sex, because that you're gonna need that. And I say dependability. Because if you fall off, if something happened, like you can't be all places at once, and you need a crutch, and you should be able to depend on your significant other. So if you need something or something done, like if I can't get home and I'm like, hey, can you make this call and pay this by 9 o'clock? I want to feel like once the message got relayed to you, you're gonna handle it. I don't want to call back and like, I wonder if she done this or I wonder if she done that. So I say, in order, looks, personality, loyalty, sex, dependability.
Those are good. Those are really, really good, Show. So for me, I would say my top 5 most is the person has to be God fearing for me. I'm not a person that goes to church every day, but I do believe in spirituality, and so I would say that person has to be God fearing for me. He has to put God at the forefront and understand that everything that he has and who he is because of the Most High. So that's number 1 for me. For number 2, that person has to be able to be a provider. As a woman, I wouldn't be able to take care of a man. I expect a man to be able to provide for me, not just, you know what I mean, financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually. He has to be a provider in all those aspects. So I just use that one provider. So God-fearing provider. He has to be someone that is able to profess. He has to be able to say, hey, I'm wrong, and me be able to understand that he's wrong. And those are the 3. Number 2 is he has to be able to be in a room and be able to have a conversation with people that he's not comfortable with, or he has to be able to communicate effectively. Most people are in relationships and that person is not able to communicate with them, and you're not able to bring that person around your friends or your family because they can't communicate effectively enough where people understand who they are, so people assume who they are. So for me, he has to be a communicator as well. So that's 4. And 5 is the intimacy, right? That person has to have some crazy wild sex. That person's sex life cannot be boring. He has to be willing to be spontaneous when it comes to sex life.
Almost catch a charge. If you leave a bruise on her, so what? If she called the cops when the time to get there, she's gonna say, "Never mind, he didn't hurt."
Right, straight up. If we go into a restaurant, we sitting there eating, we got to still be able to play footsies. I don't care how old we are, and that footsies is going to lead to us in the bathroom somewhere. So for me, that person has to be able to be in tune with their sexuality and in tune with their he has to be in tune with just being spontaneous and be willing to say, you know what? When I come in, just because my woman gonna have her robe off, I'm gonna just drop down, get naked and just do it to my woman. So he has to be one of those type of men. So those are my top 5. And
listen, when a woman says do it to, they old school nasty. They've been nasty since 2003. People don't do it to people no more. So if they say do it to you, that's 2003 nasty.
Do it to you. I'm happy nasty. It's a young age, So whatever. I would say nasty. I've been in tune with my sexuality.
Don't say nothing else. The drinks is hitting you. Both sexes can give the same results.
True. I agree.
That's true. Miss Gray, one of the loyal people we got here.
Miss Gray, hey baby.
But if it's not for selfish or superficial reasons, then more power to her. And plus, that's probably a curiosity or desire that she's been having.
True.
Yeah, that's all. That's definitely true. That's true. My man, Hyper TV, rap extraordinaire. I agree, Show. If a girl likes girls, then that's on her. That's what she wants. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Speaking for most men, I would think. I mean, there are some guys that's kind of tender deed, as people call it. And I think, tender deed. And when you tender deed, stuff hits you a little worse than it should. You start to internalizing things and you overreact. But some things just ain't got nothing to do with you, man. Like,
don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying?
No, some things is beyond you. Like, that's not.
Hey.
If she leave because you don't got enough money, that's on you. Like,
because you got
some more money.
If she leave because you got a little Mickey, that's on you too. But it's
also that's not on me. You mad at the Lord, and the Lord is gonna. He's gonna get y'all. But you got a problem with my creation. My creation wasn't good enough. That's between you and the Lord, and you will be strucken.
The Lord gave you opportunities to get an enhancement. You can get surgery and pipe that.
The Lord doesn't want us altering our peen. And the fact that you did that, you put that out there, I will probably die during that surgery. The Lord is watching.
Thanks, Haifa.
That was all our comments for today. This was a pretty good show.
Most definitely. Thank you.
It flowed pretty good. I wish we had more time.
Yes.
Paris is a great family woman. Me, I'm just a wild dude. I'll be on here until tomorrow.
Yes.
So I'm going to wrap it up so she can get to her motherly duties. I appreciate everybody who came out today, all the guests. I appreciate y'all, the people who stayed in for the whole time and duration, the people who's going to watch it in the future. It was a really good show. I didn't see Paris in the day. I'm always hurt. It hurt me so bad to miss her for the extra day.
Oh, man, so
happy to see you in your hat. It's so stylish.
You know what I'm saying? Dap it up. But we always have a good time here on Showtime in Paris, and that's what it's all about. But most importantly, we have a good time because you guys interact with us, and we love our viewers. We love that you guys are so loyal. We got to give a few shout outs. Jay Gray, you always rocking with us. You know what I'm saying, on a weekly basis. We appreciate you. Not
bravo.
Paris, but we appreciate you. I'm supporting the Don't Get
Tricked. Paris your Cash App. She owe you something. We're gonna send you a little something, but Paris got the bread.
Star, we appreciate you. You rock with us as well. We see you. You are loyal. You always tune in with us. And not only do you tune in with us, you are very, very active. Thank you for everybody who dropped in and that did not ask comments or anything, but just listen to us. We appreciate you as well. Stay tuned for the next episode of Showtime in Paris, brought to you by Don't Get Tricked Networks. Have a good night all and a great weekend. Be safe. We out.
I think we out.